freaks to the metal-handed god. Metal-handed god. I'd like to welcome all you freaks to the metal-handed god. We some nerds with the urge to purge on some line.
And welcome back to the MetalHandOf God podcast. I am your host, Wade, and you know this fine gentleman as...
RumGuy.
All right, today we have a very special guest, our really good friend and artist, Mr. Tim Lattie.
What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing?
You know what? That was the worst. You just like, I gave you this like really good.
Hey, look, bro, I'm very, very casual. I'm a casual dude.
I know, man, but I gave you this like really cool. Like, yeah, I called you an anus and everything, and you come in like, hey,
Well, see,
hey guys.
You threw
When
the
I
mix up.
saluted, y'all see it on video. I'm saluting. So yeah.
Well, anyway, Tim, you've got a lot going on, man. It's been a while since we talked.
Yeah. I've been super, super busy.
It's evident, man. I'm looking at your
Crazy.
website. And...
Yeah, I'm trying to. Man, what did I hear somebody say the other day, and I really liked it. I want to fill up my calendar. I want to have stuff going on all the time, dude.
Was it put it in there?
Wait, what now?
I said, was it put it in there? Was that the thing?
No,
that the thing you heard that you really liked?
Really cool quote. I forgot it. But it's like the devil's all over your calendar or something like that. Basically, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to have empty time. You want to have stuff going on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dude, I'm working. I just started Extreme Ghostbusters, the script for that. I started that last night,
so
and so
cool.
when I'm done with this, I'm gonna go mess with some more of that.
That's
and
really
that
awesome.
Came out real good.
Well, how did that come about for you?
And it takes place during the 90s. Like, they're using flip phones and stuff. It's friggin' awesome, dude. So that's really cool.
Did you hear what Rum asked you? Because
No, what?
No, I was just asking how that all came to be about with the Extreme Ghostbusters thing.
So, obviously, I've been doing all the Ghostbuster stuff in general. Like, they let me do the covers. I get some interiors here and there. But, man, they let me run wild on the covers. And so next year is going to be the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters, which is why the Ghostbusters World video game came out. And they're building up. So you can tell, I promise you, behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff building up going on. And I'm working on some stuff myself as well. So there's going to be four books for the 35th anniversary. And it's going to be one with the regular team that Dan Schoening and all them are going to do. It's going to be one with the real Ghostbusters from the cartoon, and I had a choice. I had a choice between real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters. And then the ATC team, the Answer the Call, the Girl Busters, and then the final one that's going to come out is going to be Extreme Ghostbusters.
Nice.
That's cool. Well, the Extreme, seems to be a type of project you could do a lot with the Extreme types end of the Ghostbusters realm, right?
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about stuff now. And then I'll know more about this like next week. But remember how like Granny Gross? Do you all remember Granny Gross?
Yeah.
She was one of the toys with the Kenner toy line. And in the I always thought it was cool when I was a kid because when you go to, and I got the firehouse over there by my desk. When you go into the firehouse, it had a decal and it had a Granny Gross decal on it. And last night I thought about it and I'm like, dude, wouldn't it be cool if like the Granny Gross picture frame decal, or it would be a picture frame anywhere else. Wouldn't it be cool if that was like one of those moving pictures like they have in Harry Potter? Like it was almost like it was.
Oh yeah, dude, that's fucking cool idea.
So there's a scene, and I already kind of sketched it in my thumbnails, and I'm like, dude, that would be kind of cool if like I'm not even gonna tell anybody. I'm just gonna fucking do it. If like she's reacting to what's going on in the scene in the background, so it'd be a nice little Easter egg. It'd be a subtle thing. But Granny Gross would be kind of moving and alive, like it is in those Harry Potter movies. I only seen 2 of those, but I liked them. I thought they were pretty cool.
That's fucking cool.
Pretty cool.
Well,
yeah.
I seen 2.5. I got through 2.5 of them, but I thought it was all right.
Why your date said she didn't like them anymore?
No, we had other stuff to do.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I knew that was happening.
I really do like them. I really do. I like them. I like The Hobbit. I like all that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. You're a big pop culture guy, man.
And I've never seen the third Hobbit, and I've never seen what's the other one? Return of the King.
This motherfucker never finishes anything. Like he starts off with something. I'm done.
I'm with Tim, man.
Video games. The only thing I finish are comic books, man. I swear.
I never finished Lord of the Rings series, and I've never finished Harry Potter.
Really?
Nah.
Harry Potter's like, what is it? 8 movies?
Yeah, it's like a commitment. I don't have that type
7.
of time.
Hey, right. Yeah, that is a relationship, you know? It is, man.
Well, that's good though, but I mean, they're not bad movies.
I like them. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. And I really like John Williams, so I'll put on the score. I'll put on the music.
Right. But I mean, the only one of those movies that I really didn't care for.
I saw Ready Player One the other day.
Yeah. I was giving him shit for that because that's a really good movie too.
Well, I haven't watched it either.
But I mean, the only reason I give him shit for it is because I know he's a big pop culture guy. And I know this fucking movie has more references and shit that Tim would eat up. You know, it's just hysterical. Like they do a lot of Back to the Future shit in there. They have all kind of stuff that I know Tim's all about. So that's why I'm like, you know, you really need to see this fucking movie.
What was the premise of the movie without giving the movie away?
Ready Player One is basically it's an entire world that was created after like this big like. Kind of like after like the end of the world kind of bullshit.
Oh, it's a post-apocalyptic VR thing, right?
Kind of. It's kind of a weird situation where like everybody went into this big, huge like depression, I guess, and everything is all cluttered and shitty. And a guy made his own world, basically, and he became the richest man in the world because everyone wants to be in this VR. Well,
this seems like it was a premise from an older movie because I remember some older movie where they all used to come home and sit in these little pods.
Kind of like Dreamscape.
Yeah, kind of like it.
It is kind of like that, except this is more of it isn't like a VR world. Like you can be whoever you want. You have your own avatars. You can do everything. And the premise of the whole show is the guy is dead. The guy who made the world is dead, but he left Easter eggs in his virtual reality. And if you unlock the 3 or 4, I think it's 3 keys. If you find the 3 keys in his game, like an Easter eggs in the games, you win, and you can control his whole entire world. Like that, you are the king now. You are the owner of it all. And he made it virtually impossible to find it. And this one kid accidentally comes across one, and it becomes this really big adventure type thing. That's why it's called Ready Player One, is because nobody is a big scoreboard because everybody's looking for these keys. And no one's found him, and when he finds it, he is player one. So that's how it. Well, now I don't have to watch the movie. You just told me the whole damn thing. No, you do. You have to. That's nothing.
I don't need to see the movie now. You just saved me 2.5 hours, man.
No, that's nothing.
Well, speaking of worlds in that Wizard world, what's going on with you? How you? I mean, it's coming up. It's like right on our next on our back door right now.
Yeah. So. Man, 2 days.
Yeah, it's Friday, man. It's Friday.
Yeah, I'll be doing, again, Ghostbusters 35th anniversary. They're hyping everything up for that. They're getting ready for that. So there's going to be a Ghostbuster convention in June in LA on the Sony lot. I'm sure it's going to be out of control. I'll be there. And I'm going to be doing a bunch of other shows this year. So there's going to be a Ghostbuster theme going on probably at almost all Wizard shows. So I'll be doing a couple events in the kids zone. I think 5:30 on Saturday, just a 30-minute like how to draw Slimer, how to draw a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, right?
Sure.
And then I think 1:30 to 2 o'clock on Sunday, and I'll also be doing stuff on the main stage. Another like art demo. I'll be doing demos Saturday and Sunday.
Please tell me.
Otherwise, I'll be at my booth doing that kind of thing.
Please tell me you guys are going to hire like somebody from Barely Legal to announce you. And up to the main stage, it's Tim Lattie.
No, you know who I got? Brian Held. Brian Held's going to go up there with me.
Nice.
Because he eats that kind of stuff up, man. He loves that, and he's very good at it. So I asked him. He'll be my he'll MC it, and yeah, I don't know. Draw Slimer, draw Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Nice, dude. That's cool.
It'll be fun.
It'll
be very good. It'll be great.
It's gonna be packed this year. I know it is.
What day is that, dude?
It is every year.
What day is that you're doing that?
So I'm doing one. So I'll be doing both each day. I'll be doing one main stage thing on the 5th and the 6th, and then one kid zone thing. So the 30-minute kid zone, draw Slimer or something.
So you got nothing on the last day, huh?
Well, no, that would be Sunday. So I'm not doing anything Friday. Friday I have.
Oh, okay.
Friday I have there's a Ghostbuster party, a Louisiana Ghostbuster party, so I'm gonna go to that afterwards.
That's cool. I think we may be going on the Sunday because Caitlin has a bunch of photo shoots. She's got 2 weddings this weekend. So as soon as she's finished those 2, we're gonna try to head over there on Sunday. And I mean, tomorrow's my kid's birthday too, so that's why he's like super pumped about doing all kind of stupid shit. So
it's gonna be great for his birthday.
Bring him, let him do the little kid zone, man. I don't know if he'll sit still for it. I know he's young.
That's what I was hoping. If you were doing something around that time, we can go over there and hang out and see you.
Wayne couldn't sit still by himself. So
no, I'll be running around like a crazy man. Oh my God, Tim's here.
Yeah. You've seen me at shows. I can barely sit still too.
Yeah.
Tim. I'll be on the other side of the table the whole time too. I'm gonna be in the aisles.
Tim is the artist that always when I walk up to him, he's either talking to somebody else or he goes, "Hey man, can you watch my table for a minute?"
Well, I got crazy, dude. I got to move around. I mean, you can see me. I barely sit still here.
I know. I can see you bouncing around all over the place.
This is how I am. This is how I am all day long.
That's good. It's energy, man. You got to keep the energy going. Or
right. I mean, I probably got ADD. I don't know what it is.
I mean, as soon as you stop with the energy, then it's just a really long nap. You don't want that.
Right, yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, man. So no, it's going to be a good show. Very excited. It's so early in the year, but that's a good thing. Boom, you hit the ground running. So yeah, I'm setting up everything now, getting everything ready now. Gonna have a badass display, dude. Gonna have an awesome booth. Sweet. Dominate my space. That's the game plan.
Now they've got a whole group down there that they're kind of like the Ghostbusters before all this stuff was happening too. But there's like like they have the Star Wars people down there that'll go around dressed like.
Oh yeah. Tim is a member.
Oh, you're a member. Okay, I didn't know you were a member.
I'm an honorary member, I guess. I don't know. I never got a certificate or anything. I'd like to be a member. I think I'd always seen them running around and stuff like that, and I kind of knew some of them a little bit here and there. But when I started working on the book, things slowly progressed. As a good bunch of dudes and gals, very good people. They actually do a lot of charity stuff.
That's what I hear. They go to hospitals and stuff.
Dude, I don't know. Like, I used to see it, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't really, I don't know. I guess I never had thought too much about it. But, man, you just don't realize how much they do. I think even to be a member, you have to do, like, 3 or 4 things a year. You can't just...
But that's good, though. That's cool. I like that.
It's like a proton pack, dude, and you're a Ghostbuster, Like, you got to actually be involved in some sort of event, some sort of charity. So,
for the...
like that as well, but I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But you don't realize what these groups do. You might see these people at shows, and you're kind of like, oh man, like, oh yeah, I like Ghostbusters, like, cool costume, dude. They're doing stuff. Like you said, they're going to children's hospital all the time. They're raising money, they're doing stuff for kids.
And it's very cool that these people do these kind of things, and people look at them and they're like, I know a few people who are like, oh, it's fucking Ghostbusters, man. Who gives a shit about that movie? It's only been. They only made 2 movies and they weren't, they were funny comedies. They weren't that good, And I'm like, I mean, we know a couple people who say that kind of shit, and I'm just like, dude, Ghostbusters is great. I love those movies. Like, I will watch those movies every fucking day. And honestly, if I could afford to be in one of those groups, like get those costumes and do all that shit, I would do that. That'd be fun as fuck. Those things are expensive to make.
You'd be surprised, dude. I did it. I got a costume because I was just like, dude, this is what I'm going to be for Halloween.
Right.
I only dress up once a year. I might do Mardi Gras if they ask me. I'll do the Mardi Gras thing. Where they go down Carnival.
So you don't Chicago. So you officially saying you don't do the 3 things? You're a fucking liar.
No, I'm a cheat. That's what I'm saying. I'm not an official member. Like I would gladly do it, dude. I would do stuff. I think it's great.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
The costume doesn't cost that much. You go to the Army Surplus store. We got an Army Surplus store down here, Wayne. Perros or something like that. And it's awesome. They got cool stuff in there.
Really? I'm going to go check it out.
Dude. And then you go to gbfans.com and you can get a name tag. You can get the arm pads. You can get chemical gloves.
No shit.
You can get the boots at Perros. So you can get the Army boots over there. You can get like a legit Ghostbuster costume for... I don't know, $150.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Patch and everything.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I thought it would be more than that.
No. And again, my mindset is like, I'll just wear this every year. Every year on Halloween, I'll just zip up.
Right.
Out the door, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
That's what we ought to
plus,
do, Tim.
Plus, just pack it in your car in case something
I
happens.
took the dive, dude. I got the Lattie name tag and everything.
I'll dress.
And I was checking on it today, dude. I'm waiting for my Dick Tracy watch to come in. I ordered one of those, so I'm just cleaning house on my childhood.
Yeah, yeah. If you look behind Lattie, I mean, you can see all of his Ghostbuster stuff, which is very cool. You see that Slimer peeking over the top of that thing right there? Yeah, that's cool.
Well, let's see if we can do it, dude. We got a little Slimer hanging up out there.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it, dude. It's pretty awesome, man. And I see all the comics that he's gonna give me right there. See all those in that rack right there. I do have.
You get them at Comic-Con.
I got
price $5 a piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got a few bucks for you, man. Don't worry, I got some later on because I need to get some from you.
You're drawing the comics and you're doing all this stuff, but you collect a lot of stuff too. So. I mean, how many books of other artists do you have? I mean, you must have a ton.
Yeah, I do.
You see that smile? It means no.
I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to begin. I got long boxes left and right. If I turn this camera around, I got toys all over this friggin' place. Like this room, Wayne's been in here. It's worse than when you were in here, Wayne.
Yeah. Me and Tim talk about toy collecting all the time, man. Like we were constantly.
Dude, some people might go and draw. This is my life. I love it. And if you look at the covers, I don't know if I've done a Ghostbuster cover where there wasn't a toy. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be a Kenner toy involved. There's got to be an Easter egg from the TV show. And y'all was saying earlier, there's only 2 movies, but you have I think 4 seasons of the Real Ghostbusters cartoon show.
Right.
The first season, most of those were written by J. Michael Straczynski, and they're unbelievable episodes. And Extreme Ghostbusters is an underrated show. I'm not just being a shill for the program or for the product. Extreme Ghostbusters, dude, like people die every episode. Like there's crazy stuff going on.
It is extreme.
So yeah, it's very extreme. And like we were talking about before I started recording, I'm holding up this phone on a USS Flag, man. Ultimate USS Flag, where we raised it. Me and Trevor raised it this summer. So it's got that bottom level, all kinds of stuff.
That's cool, man. Well, that's great. I always thought that the Ghostbuster property was amazing. And I used to watch that cartoon when I was a kid. I thought it was great. But to see that thing, to see more life coming back into that franchise is really, really cool.
Well, so this is what I also noticed is that obviously I'm doing the books so people see it. Friends of mine will send me pictures of their kids playing with the Playmobil toys. All of them have every Playmobil toy and stuff like that. Little Wayne will send me pictures of his son singing and dancing to the song and stuff like that.
Yeah, he watches the Real Ghostbusters cartoons. So
it's clearly translate. Some of these people, I don't know how their kids got into it in the first place. So there's something. I just think that's something with the property. Maybe it's the 35th anniversary. I don't know, but yeah, there's been a Ghostbusters resurgence, and for me personally, I think it's just right place, right time, person.
Do you think there'll be a movie reboot?
I don't know. There's a lot of talk about it now. There's been a lot of talk about it before. I know it's not going to be with the girls. I think they're done with that.
Yeah.
They are talking about like a Ghostbusters 3, and Dan Aykroyd had that interview the other day.
Right.
You know, I'm just rehashing what he said in the video. So maybe.
I think it's because the girls one tanked. It was not good. Like people didn't like it. I thought it was a fun film, but it wasn't.
But it didn't hold the original.
Nah, it was no luster to that movie.
You know, they kind of made it.
That original movie it's lightning in a bottle. Did anybody know what it was going to be? Did they even have a clue what it was going to be when they were doing it?
And it was the cast that made it, though. It was the wit of those guys was so quick, and they were so on, and they could ad lib at the drop of a hat. They just left it in, and it was perfect.
Yeah, I think most of Bill Murray's lines were all ad lib. Like he was just doing them on the spot. So that's just charisma. Somebody just in the groove. Somebody in their prime, just killing it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, again, weird time to be involved. Good time to be involved.
Sure.
I couldn't be happier to be involved with this project, and that's not to mention what Eric and Dan and Tom and Lewis and all them what they do with the book everything behind the covers. I just get to do the variant covers and stuff like that. That what they're doing in the series is unreal. There's always like an 80s reference. I wish they would take that and just translate it into a cartoon and call it a day. Yeah. Personally, I think you.
But for you, isn't there just a little bit of for you personally, one of those moments where you can just go, like you're going to get there, you're going to be at the convention, and you're going to be sitting down, you just say to yourself, "Holy fuck, look at me! I'm sitting here doing Ghostbusters. I love this stuff." I mean, that's got to feel good though, man.
The cool thing about that, Rum, is Tim will always now be a part of Ghostbusters lore, and that's so fucking awesome. Like really cool. I'm fucking excited for him, even though I have nothing to do with the shit. I think it's fantastic because Tim deserves it, and I think he's a great guy.
And on top of that, everything you've done with Night Stars.
Right.
I mean, that's a great property right there. You're doing great stuff with that, man. That's a lot of work.
I mean, I even rub myself on that book sometimes. I wish people could, I really do. Tim, you're gonna post your video on your page, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, look, guys, it's gonna be on YouTube, right? Tim Lattie or
I'll straight to YouTube. I just want content. I want more.
I get it, but I'm just.
I want to have. We were talking about. I want to talk about ghosts with y'all and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was asking Wayne if he wants to come and talk about like He-Man. I don't want to have like a format. I just want to.
Yeah, we're gonna have Tim on our other show, Ghost Grabbers, pretty soon too.
Whatever.
Right? Yeah, that's gonna be fucking cool.
Whatever.
But no. What I'm trying to tell people is they really need to see Tim's reactions when we talk shit to him on here. It's priceless. But yeah, so speaking of Wizard World, okay? So you got to hear this. We're going to take this a few minutes to take this break since we're doing this thing here. We're going to run a commercial that we had made for Wizard World this year. So if you guys, I know Tim's probably got a fucking promo code too, but fuck him, he can't say his code on our show.
But Tim, you're in this commercial.
I think my promo code's worth more than yours.
It is. That's why.
Get 20% off with me.
That's right. That's why I said you can't
say our code in twice.
Yeah. You just use our code twice. Fuck you guys. No, all the artists got 20% off. But that's okay. That's cool because you guys are paying for tables. I'm not paying for shit. So, it's cool that they even gave us a fucking code. So I'm glad with that.
Yeah, it's neat. I think it's a different approach to get people involved and stuff like that.
Right.
I think it's awesome.
I thought it was awesome too, man. I was happy. And
outside the box, do stuff different.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, and it was cool because they came to us. They were like, "Hey, look, would you guys like to do this?" I was like, "Fuck yeah! Why would I say no? That's silly." I mean, of course I would.
But anyway, here's that commercial.
They used a picture of me from like, dude, it had to be like 4 or 5 years ago, man. I was so skinny, dude, and
yeah, you could tell
I got Photoshop. I put in a new photo. I put it online.
Yeah, you can tell you eat too many Whoppers now. Anyway, here's that code.
Game, dude, that's game.
Oh yeah, you wish, Rich. Anyway, here's our commercial for Wizard World. Check it out, guys.
It's time to make plans for the greatest convention in New Orleans. The 2019 Wizard World Comic Con. January 4th through January 6th. Right now, if you use promo code MHOGPOD10, get an extra 10% off admission. If you have never been, you are missing out on a great opportunity. Hang out with amazing celebrities such as Jason Momoa from Aquaman, John Bernthal from The Punisher and Walking Dead fame, comic book creator Tim Lattie, cast members from iZombie, the TV show Charmed, the X-Men movies, and so many more. So get tickets now. January 4th through the 6th and use promo code MHOGPOD10. A gift to you from the Metal Hand of God podcast. Once again, that's promo code MHOGPOD10. Wizard World Comic Con 2019 in New Orleans. Make this the amazing start to your new year that you were wishing for. Promo code MHOGPOD10. Wizard World Comic Con 2019. Enjoy the sights and get your nerd on. Metal Hand of God podcast wishes you a happy new year. Once again, promo code MHOGPod10. Wizard World Comic Con. Meet your favorite celebrities. Meet your favorite artists. At the 2019 Wizard World Comic Con January 4th through the 6th. And save 10% with promo code MHOGPod10. Metal Hand of God, making your Comic Con dreams come true. MHOG Podcast. Keep it metal.
And that was our little commercial right there. That was all cut together really nice and done well. And it even mentions our guest today, Mr. Tim fucking Lattie. Ghostbuster, the man himself, the wizard behind something. Behind Night Stars. That's what he is. He's the wizard behind Night Stars. I'm just fucking with you, Tim. Come on.
Yeah, we're still moving forward with that.
Actually, Tim, if you guys are familiar with some of our artwork from the MHOG podcast, Tim has done some of that stuff for us too, because he's a fucking awesome dude.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a while on some of those. I saw some the other day.
Well, the original one, the video game thing looks nothing. I mean, you can see it's your style, but it looks nothing like the stuff you do now, dude. You're so much better now than you were when we first got you to do that. And I'm not saying you were bad then. I'm just saying you can see the progression in your art. It's fucking incredible.
We had a saying. I went to Noka. I went to this art school out here in Noka, and what they would always tell you when you come in, you could tell when somebody, most of the time, but you can tell when somebody didn't put in a lot of effort on their project, right? And they said time on task. They would call them out for it. So I think that's all it is. I think anything you do, I think effort and doing it, repetition, doing it over and over and over again, you're going to get, I would assume you get better. I think you get better if you keep pushing yourself.
I think in the early stages of anything, the more you do it, you get better. But I think at one point in time in your life, it's not a matter of getting better. It's just finding your style, finding what you like, and trying to challenge yourself, because you don't want to be, doing the same thing either. So I know you're one of those type of people that are constantly trying to find new things and new ways of doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm refining constantly. Absolutely.
Guys, I don't want to.
Maybe that's a scab mentality. Or an artist mentality. But I think you would find that with the athletes. You would find that, I guess anybody, I don't want to plateau. I don't want to there's this guy I really like. His name's David Goggins. He's a motivational guy. He's a former, bad motherfucker, dude. Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, all that stuff. And he says he doesn't want to become civilized. He doesn't want to get into atrophy. And that's how I want to be. I don't want to become civilized. I don't want to look at something and be like, oh man, like I did it. Hey, wonderful. Like I want to keep pushing. What is my potential? I don't want to work towards that. That is my goal. Reaching whatever that ceiling is on my own personal potential.
Plus, and when you're doing art and things like that too, part of the whole process, I think, I don't know how your process is, but when you're doing something, I know on certain things you've got something you're trying to reach. This is a specific type of thing you're trying to get to. But a lot of times when you're doing and you're just going through that creative process and you're hashing things out, the whole fun of it really is just trying to figure out where it's going to take you. You're going with it and go halfway through it. You're like, oh, whoa, no, I like this better. Oh shit, look at this. And then looking around your room,
like
getting all that stuff.
In a lot of ways, you can correlate it with life. But something that always happens is, and this is how I see the artistic process a lot of times, is that you have an idea, you're very, very excited, you geeked up, you're ready to go, right?
Right.
And then you start drawing, you probably come out hot, you're doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start hitting those walls, and it's just like, oh man, this looks like garbage. And then you got to refine something, you got to work on this, and there's this weird middle ground. And if you can just get over that hump, in that artistic process and get to the other side of it, you end up coming out with something usually pretty cool. You know what I mean? But there's always, like, for me, there's always this moment, dude, I'm like, I'm ready to jump off a bridge. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, this is the worst cover ever. This sucks, whatever. And then if I just a little bit more, keep pushing it, usually come out with something I'm reasonably satisfied.
And you go through that whole thing in everything you do. Plus, I'm sure you went through even more when working on Night Stars.
Yeah. I could tell you right now, dude, like where you have changed in your artwork, and this is kind of a weird situation where you could see your change was when you did Plants vs. Zombies. You could see the advance from what we had first saw before, like when you did the first print we gave you and that stuff. But when I looked at those things, I was just kind of like, wow, it's way, way, way different. You had
to be on model with Plants vs. Zombies.
Right.
That was the big thing. Top Cap is going to be on you. Pea Shooter has to look like Pea Shooter.
Right.
Chomper has to look like Chomper. And what happened was I was doing Plants vs. Zombies first, I believe, and I had to be on model. I had to be on point, almost like you're a normal animator, right? Right. And what ended up happening was when Ghostbusters came along, I was so used to that it was easy for me to. I'm going to say the Ghostbusters style, but it's really Dan Schoening style. But it was easy for me to take that. I used his character designs like model sheets for me, and then made it my own. Working on making it my own, but still staying within that world. Yeah. And I don't think that would have happened without Plants vs. Zombies. Having to stay on model with Plants vs. Zombies forced me to use different part of my brain to reach that.
We have someone actually here that is a huge
I think I heard him come in.
Huge fan of your Plants vs. Zombies and your Ghostbuster work, and he would like to say a few words to you.
Who's that? Caitlin?
No, go ahead. What are you gonna say, man?
What are you saying, buddy?
What? You saying Ghostbusters? Say it. He's nervous. He's like, he sees you on the screen and he's like, oh my God, it's Tim. Oh, and he's so nervous right now.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I can put Slimer up there for him.
He did. The first thing he did was he walked in. He said, you hear him? He's saying it's on the top. See the Slimer on the top? That's what he keeps saying. Look, check it out, dude. He's gonna show you.
Look at Slimer up there chilling.
Is that cool?
So yeah.
Little Terminator figure. He's got some other people's comics up here. That's Jaws figures. Love Jaws. So there he is, little guy. Look at that creepy dude.
Say it in the microphone.
You know this guy.
You heard him, guys?
What do you say?
Go ahead, say it again.
Keep it metal.
Keep it metal. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we see the Terminator back there. Is that what it is?
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, it's awesome.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a bit, dude.
Look at this dude. Y'all watching Terminator with him?
He's out of here. He's heading out. He said, "Thanks for talking to him, Mr. Tim Lattie." He feels grateful that such a star like you has graced his dad's show.
Very important early development stages.
Well, really, in all honesty, like Tim's stuff, like the Plants vs. Zombie stuff and the Ghostbuster stuff, really, he's got that stuff hanging in his room. You know what I'm saying? Like the pages and stuff that you gave us and the stuff that I got from Tim for him is in his room, and that's his artwork. So he knows all of your stuff, and he's a huge fan. So he really is, even though he's 3. He doesn't know any better that you're a jerk, but still. He still thinks your art's great,
That's awesome, man.
Nah, he knows Uncle Tim.
I'm a fan. That's a cute kid. I see him all the time on Instagram. I follow him. I follow his exploits.
Oh yeah. He's also got his own YouTube channel, by the way. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, go check it out. It's called Mookie Barris, of course. It was called Mookapocalypse, but we couldn't spell it anymore. We couldn't fucking remember it, so we changed it.
That's funny.
All right, now I will.
Yeah, go check it out. He's got some good stuff.
I'll subscribe.
Yeah, do it, man. He's got some funny shit on there. Caitlin really puts a lot of work into the videos that she makes with him, so it's really cool.
Okay. Y'all share this on Facebook or no?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes there's some stuff. Okay.
I love see his Instagram. That's what I look at most of the time.
And you know how Facebook is with that algorithm. Sometimes you see shit, and sometimes I don't. Like I barely ever see any of your posts. Like even for promotion and stuff. Yeah.
I don't post that much. I posted something about Michael Jordan yesterday.
Well, no. I mean promotion wise. Even if I see from your Lattie Inc. page, I don't see shit.
Because they want you to pay for the boost. They want you to pay for that thing. But I think I get more again, need to dominate your space. Need to post more on Facebook. I'm on all of them. I'm on Minds. I'm on name a platform. I always post on everything. If I know about it.
I need to figure out what this Minds is because we're not on that yet.
It's all right. It's cool. I mean, I post on it. I think you can get. I'm on Steam it. All that stuff, dude. So if I can get cryptocurrency, I bought this flag with cryptocurrency, dude.
No
I
shit.
did good on They had that Bitcoin boom, dude. I made a nice little chunk of change.
Yeah, I remember when you did that.
I went and blew it on G.I. Joes, man.
Well, it was either G.I. Joes or hookers, so I'd rather you do the G.I. Joes because that lasts longer.
I got a flag. I got a Terradrome.
Dude, the Terradrome is something that I've always wanted my entire
Find a
life.
hooker that's dressed like G.I. Joe. That'd be a
Yeah, that'd be all right. What's up, dude? You coming back in here?
Man, I'm gonna tell you I think the hottest G.I. Joe, my personal favorite. I don't know. I guess I got to go with Lady J. But dude, I don't know how much. I know Wayne knows G.I. Joe. Dude, I'm gonna go with CoverGirl, dude. I think CoverGirl's really hot. So
CoverGirl was
because
that wasn't the redhead.
Everybody wanted to know.
Was CoverGirl the redhead?
No, that
CoverGirl was the other redhead. So if you see her, you probably think it's Scarlet.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
CoverGirl's, and there's an awesome episode where they're like filming a movie, and her and Snake Eyes go and they get in a bar fight. It's awesome. And then Dusty and like another Joe have to race Zartan at midnight in the desert. And there's all kinds of like coyotes that attack them and stuff like that. It's so good.
Like
so
as an actual coyote or the guys who take in Mexicans to the over here illegals.
No. It's not like.
No, I don't mean that shitty. I mean really.
That's a coyote. That's not really
right. Yeah, coyote. Yeah, man. G.I. Joe had some wild episodes, dude. Do y'all remember the one where Shipwreck gets like he wakes up and he's older and he has a family? Like this is this shit stuck in my head forever.
Yes.
And he has oh my god, dude, it's called
Wait.
like Welcome to Springfield or something like that.
Wait, what was the episode? I'm sorry, I had to throw the kid out again. I missed that.
It was called. I think it was called Welcome to Springfield.
Welcome to Springfield, I'm pretty sure, and he wakes up from like a coma or something like that, and he's not a Joe anymore. It's like 10 years in the future. He's got a wife, a kid, but the parrot, his parrot has a name too. Look at us. Got the little guy right here.
Nice.
Little guy right here.
Nice. I have the parrot somewhere too. So.
I'm not doing this on the flag, so Shipwreck's over there. But yeah, he wakes up and it's the parrot's kind of telling him I think the parrot's name's Diana. And
right, sure. That's why he calls her Diana, right?
It's a two-parter. It's this weird psychological episode, and by the end, he goes into his house. It's on fire, and his daughter's got a bazooka, and his wife has a machine gun, and they're trying to kill him. And the parrot saves him, and he watches his family melt in front of him. I don't know how he recovers from that, but it's just the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
It was a crazy double.
You know how those cartoons or those TV shows or movies that just fuck, man, they just do a number on you, they stick with you.
Yes.
Like that for me, man. Like his dude, and I watched it the other day, and it's just as insane. It's crazy.
It burned a hole in my head when I was a kid. Eric Stoltz's face on The Mask.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, really, like, I hate this. That was a fucking rough movie for a kid to watch.
Really?
Why? Man, that's a rough for an adult. Why even make that movie? It's just sad,
because it was such a sad film, man. I was just like, fuck, man.
There was actually some funny scenes in that movie.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's all sad.
So long. I just remember The Mask, like crying and stuff, dude. Like being miserable.
And people always say, no, Jim Carrey was in The Mask. I'm like, no, man, it's not that mask. You gotta, You gotta watch that.
I can tell you, man.
Let's do a pinup where the mask fights the mask. Like they should make a comic about that.
Yes. I want. You know what I want? I want a fucking Funko Pop of that dude. They make Funko Pops for everything else. Why not him? Rocky Dennis.
How does that even get made? You know what I mean? Like, how does a movie like that? Who comes to like a producer?
Yeah, I got a really good idea.
Well, there was a formula back in the '80s where it was, all right, we're gonna get an Oscar this year. We need a retarded guy. We need somebody with a disease, and we've got it made.
Yeah.
Make them a
You
soldier.
never go full retard, man.
So yeah. crazy.
Oh, and then you know, like there was that movie. Of course, The Mask was really fucked up, and it was basically almost the same thing as like it was like a newer version of the Elephant Man. You know what I'm saying? Except the Elephant Man was more.
I never saw the Elephant Man, but
Well, that was a
gotta
great
see
film.
that.
That's a great film, Tim. I think
That's
you'd really
classic,
like
man.
that, dude.
Is amazing.
Who directed it?
Oh, I really couldn't tell you.
You would know now.
Oh,
Fuck, I
I've
can't
got
even
the
think.
movie on DVD.
Yeah, I do too. I have it somewhere, but it's not in rare. I'm like right in my arm's reach.
Okay. No, I will check it out. I told Wayne the other day, I was like, I don't even want to watch anything if it's not. I borderline don't want to watch anything in color.
You know,
And if I prefer it to be in Technicolor, man.
Tim has this thing with himself where he loses his mind every so often, and this is one of those times where he's like, I can't watch color TV. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you,
Not
19?
interested. I've been watching. I like Hammer horror, and then there's after Hammer there was Amicus.
Yeah.
I watched a bunch of Amicus movies this year.
Kirk
and it was
Amicus?
fantastic. It's so good.
Was it Kirk Amicus?
No. Yeah, you know what? I talked to Kurt Amicus today. He should change his name. I love Kurt Amaker. I'm a big fan.
Oh yeah, do you love Kirk too, man?
I was seeing if he was coming out to Wizard World, and we're gonna do something next week.
Oh, that's cool. That's
big
cool.
fan.
He's
he
a
invited
real.
me to a mansion one time. I haven't told you that story.
No, man, no. Kirk's a great dude.
It's not that epic, but no, it's just if you know the guy that we're talking about, he has this he has a mystique about him, like a vampire mystique and stuff like that. And I enjoy it. I think it's really cool.
Look, dude.
And,
let me tell you. You know, after hanging out with these people at the speakeasy that we do magic at, you know, that Potions Club. You know, I have a weird respect for these folks. Like, look, if it's your thing, man, that's fucking awesome. Like, it's really cool. I don't care.
I think it's great, dude.
I don't fucking judge. I mean, that's really cool shit. Like, you know, I'll tell you this, man. It's like, I don't think any of these people are going to listen to this show because they're all one-sided and we're both sided. So when we talk shit about one side, they'd probably get pissed off. But I know they're not listening. But don't ask me to wear vampire teeth, okay? I'm not gonna fucking do that.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, buddy. They wanted us to like really like push the quote unquote vampire magic in the show. And they wanted us to end it with us all wearing fangs. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing that.
Why?
Like,
Shit.
I mean,
I've got vampire fangs.
I own the fangs. They gave us free fangs, like the actual molded fangs and stuff.
Well, you should have put them in.
Dude, you're at fault here. What are you doing, dude? This is awesome.
Well, no.
I like going to the Paris. You go to Paris, and there it's the bathroom.
Well, the problem, yeah, you're right. You're right. You're exactly right. No, the only problem I had with it is the fact that they're trying to change something like Joe's show, and I don't want them to do that.
Dr. Joe and Vampire Teeth. I could see you maybe doing it.
No, they wanted all like me and him to do this, and I'm going, this is not what the show's about. The show's based on New Orleans. It's not based on vampires. We have one vampire trick in the entire show.
That makes sense.
And
That makes sense.
And I'm like, I was so opposed with it. Like, I'm like, look, dude, I told him, I said, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. But I don't think we should, because I think it's not what our show is about. You know what I'm saying? If it was strictly all about vampires and stuff, I'd be all about it. Fuck it, let's do it. We're going with the whole mystique. Let's fucking do it.
Well, y'all wear the fucking vampire teeth. You know what I mean? Like, let them do it.
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said. If they want to,
have to wear it too.
if they want to end it where like they do this whole Polar thing where they, you know, put the teeth in and they pretend they're attacking the fans or whatever, that's fine. That's cool. That's fine by me. But yeah, it was kind of a weird thing, man. I was like, that was the only
funnier if you would have like came out and you would have done the Van Helsing to their vampire.
Yeah, stabbed him in the chest.
Yeah.
That'd have been funny.
No, but
to answer your question too, by the way, the director of the 1980s Elephant Man was David Lynch.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, David Lynch.
Really? No shit. Okay.
And who was the star? Wasn't it
Is that the one y'all watch?
Yeah.
Or is it
I remember the black and white one, the old one, but I can't find any information on it, weirdly enough.
The black and white one is very hard to come across because it's not really a known
Funny
film.
enough, producer of the 1980 version was Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a comedy.
Yes, he was. He was the producer, and then the main star, I want to say, was what's his name from Hannibal? I mean, from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh,
Anthony Hopkins?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
It's 1980. That would be. Man, that's a cast, huh?
I think
Yeah,
He was
Anthony
good in that
Hopkins.
one with I like him in that movie with the monkeys, with the gorillas.
Monkeys and Gorillas.
Isle of Dr. Moreau.
No. It's like he's in. He like befriended a bunch of gorillas in the jungle, and he's like in prison. Really cool movie. Really good movie. He was really great in it. I can't think of the name, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, he's a great actor. It's awesome.
John Hurt, Anthony Hopkins, and Anne Bancroft were in that movie.
Bancroft.
Along with, God damn, there's a ton of famous people in this movie.
Yeah, it was a good adaptation of the original, but yeah, if you can see the original, if you watch them both, and they changed a little bit. They took a little artistic liberty in the '80s version, but both of them, you can't go wrong with those movies. It's a really deep story. It's very disturbing. The original one's more disturbing in my opinion because it's very, it's much more along those lines like we were talking about that movie, The Mask. It's very like, what the fuck? This was a horrible time for this person.
It's really funny because when you look it up online, it tells you that the John Hurt played John Merrick, actually, who was the Elephant Man. Anthony Hopkins played Frederick Travers, I think was the doctor that was trying to help him. Yeah. And then if you pan down and it says similar movies, Mask is the first one that pops up.
You called it, dude. You called it.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking crazy, man. Pretty crazy.
I never connected those dots, but yeah. So all right. I'm gonna put it on.
Well, speaking of deformed people, and just like a completely
Fuck Adam.
No, not him. A different deformed person. Speaking of deformed people, we have our next amazing segment, Tim. We're going to take a break for a second and run this. Right. This is Englie News with our buddy Mart Flanagan. He's doing his little thing here where he does different stories from England that are actually happening now. Like this one has something. I listened to it earlier. It's something to do with somebody getting killed or stabbed or some shit. It's pretty fucked up.
All right, man.
So,
he wears some vampire teeth. I see him wearing all that makeup now when they're on stage.
Oh, yeah, you saw that. Yeah, he's got it.
They look fucking ruthless, huh?
Yeah,
all that stuff.
He's got a new black metal band, man. It's pretty fucking badass.
I like it. No,
yeah, it's good shit.
Body.
All right, well,
here it is.
Well, here it is. Englie News and all that shit coming from Mad Mart Flanagan. Here you go.
Straight from MHOG International Studios. From the land of hobbits and wizards comes Englie News and other shit with Mad Mart Flanagan.
Most everyone's mad.
Now, for some breaking news, the world is completely screwed.
Hi guys, I'm Mart Flanagan, and this is the Englie News. The last few days we've seen a rise in some really crazy shit from people over here. There's been all sorts of stupid ass shit that's been going on in England. New Year's Eve, Lee Valentine, a British Transport Police Sergeant, was stabbed in the shoulder during a New Year's Eve attack in Manchester, which is not far up the road from me. Apparently said instinct took over and he and his colleagues ran towards the sound of screaming. Now this Lee Valentine is a British Transport Police Sergeant. He's in his 30s, and there was 4 officers on the scene who detained the suspect, but he was the one who got injured at Manchester Victoria Station, which is one of the really popular stations in Manchester. Train stations, that is. Another couple in the 50s were also suffering from serious but not life-threatening stab wounds. And now they've detained a 25-year-old man under the Mental Health Act, and he's now in a secure medical facility. Now, there were people saying that he was quoting certain things like Allah Akbar and things like that, although the proof isn't there, so I have to say allegedly. But Greater Manchester Police are increasingly confident, they say, that the man acted alone in the final stages of Monday night's attack, which is being treated as terror-related. Now, they always say these guys are acted alone, they were a lone wolf. Now, my personal opinion, and this is my personal opinion, bullshit. They never act alone. There's always somebody who pushes them towards doing these sort of crazy fucking things. Now, that sergeant was treated in hospital, says that the past 48 hours have been overwhelming, and his team and I are grateful to everyone who sent him messages of support. Now, let's face it, I'm not a massive advocate of guns, but the police over here have got a stick. Yeah, it's a pretty hard stick, but that's all the police are usually armed with, unless an armed response team's called. Now, I don't know about you, but if you were facing a crazy person, or a potential terrorist in this case, waving a knife around who's just stabbed somebody, and you were there, would you try and attack this person with a stick? Personally, I think the more armed option would be a little safer. Now, next up, we've got a story that's been dominating the UK news quite a lot recently. We've been hearing more and more that migrants have been crossing the English Channel from France with dinghies, small boats, makeshift rafts, so they can illegally enter the UK. And just a couple of days ago, a British man and an Iranian national have been held on suspicion of helping migrants cross the English Channel into the UK. Now, the stretch of water, I think at its shortest, is only 22 miles across. I don't know what that is in American money, but 22 miles of some pretty fucking rough sea. It's not a nice cross. And these guys have been coming over in, small groups, bit by bit, and getting gripped when they get to the shore. Now, it's getting a bit crazy, because, let's face it, Britain's not a great country. It's not a shit country, but there's plenty of better countries to go to. And it was said that NCA officers of tonight, which is the 2nd of January, arrested a 33-year-old Iranian and a 24-year-old British man in Manchester. What a shocker. On suspicion of arranging the illegal movement of migrants across the English Channel into the UK. Now, I know you guys have got your own thoughts on immigration. Let's face it, your sainted President Trump has got a love for a large wall, hasn't he? Whereas over here, we're getting the Royal Navy involved. Royal Navy ships continue to conduct patrols to protect the integrity of UK international waters. And these arrests have come as the Home Secretary Sajid Javid reportedly wrote to the Defence Secretary Gavin Williamson requesting a military patrol vessel, dozens of sailors and an aerial surveillance to put a stop to the crossing, so they are not fucking about. According to them, the discussions are still ongoing as to whether they're going to do this, because it costs £20,000 a day for the cost of this vessel. Now, earlier, the Home Secretary questioned whether migrants were actually using small boats to cross the English Channel were actually genuine asylum seekers. Sajid Javid, meeting the Border Force staff, asked a question, and he said a question has to be asked. If you were a genuine asylum seeker, why would you have not sought asylum in the first safe country that you arrived in? Because France is not a country where anyone would argue is it safe in any way whatsoever, and if you're genuine, then why not seek asylum in your first safe country? Well, I'm not a, I'm quite a liberal person. I don't mind if people need to get out of a country where they're going to die, then you fucking do it, dude. You get out of that country and you get yourself and your family safe. I can't argue with that at all. The question I've always had is the same one that Sajid Javid asked, and it's, why the fuck aren't they stopping on the 2, 3, 4, 5 countries that they're travelling through, then over a 22-mile stretch of rough sea just to get to the UK? Now, I don't have any answers for that. That's not my job. I'm just here to report this shit. Right, finally, I've got something a little lighter for you. Because, let's face it, this week's been a little heavy shit. Because the news in the UK's been nothing but heavy shit. So let's see what we can get for you. Here's some of the weirdest shit that Britons have asked our Foreign Office. Now, the Foreign Office received more than 330,000 calls from Britons who needed help overseas this year. And while 4,900 of them were from people who'd been arrested, and more than 3,400 of those were people in hospital, there were also a lot of inquiries of a much more unusual nature, let's say. Amongst them was a man who wanted to know if there were vampires in Poland. The reason for his concern? A woman he was due to meet for a date had asked his blood type. A caller from the US, no less, wanted to know which contestant had been voted off Strictly Come Dancing the previous night. And a caller from the Netherlands had questions about the plot of Braveheart. Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of these could be solved by a simple Google, but who am I to question people's motives? Although a lot of British embassies will provide a list of local lawyers for people if you find yourself arrested overseas, they're not used to being asked for a list of women you can marry as a request from a man in Argentina. Well, that's it for this week, folks. It's a little short because, let's face it, Christmas news is all bullshit. And everything else has been pretty much about new year, new me. No, it's going to be same year, same old dickhead. So if any of you guys out there listening want to know anything specific about what's going on here in the UK, feel free to message the MHOG podcast and Wayne will get a message over to me, or go find the Englie news and other shit on Facebook and I'll personally get back to you. See, the personal touch. Us English do that, not like those Americans on MHOG. They've got some sort of American goblin there who does all their emails and shit for them. So, thanks very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed what you hear. And be sure to tune in next time for another look at my beautiful backwards medieval country. Until then, keep it Englie.
Most everyone's mad.
And I just want to say to Mad Mart Flanagan that he's a douchebag because we all do answer, anything you send, we will answer it personally. We do have that personal touch, you motherfuckers. And not just you, Mart, but yeah. Anyway,
Mart's doing good things in the band, though. He's doing. Really
He is. He really is. He's been pushing and getting this new band out there, and it's really fucking cool. They're doing big shows with bigger bands and stuff, so that's really good for him.
Yeah, it's a stretch for him. I think. I mean, all those love songs.
Right. Yeah. Entrails ripped from a
and,
virgin's corpse. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll be they're going to be opening up with the Hanson reunion and Nickelback.
Right. Actually, Tim, you laugh, but that's an actual song, except it's not corpse, it's cunt, and it's
that's awesome.
Yeah, but it's not.
I am interested to listen to this band now.
It is.
And I should have had with the makeup and all that stuff.
It's not Mart's
dude, he
band.
got bigger too, bro. He's been working out. He's been working out for a year or two.
Oh yeah, dude.
He got some gains.
Yeah, I always tell him
all that baby weight.
I tell him. I said, "Man, Mart, you got fat." He's like, "Fuck you, man. Not even fat."
Hey, dude, that's fucking metal, bro. So
Yeah. But no, that song title is from Cannibal Corpse. I was just making fun of Mark.
Okay, yeah. I'll listen to them a little bit.
Yeah, they sound like this, but they're cool. I enjoy them.
Dude, if I'm in the mood, I can go hard.
I bet you can. Wow, what a cutoff. What a cutoff. Right. I'm gonna leave that space right there because it was like dead silent. It's like when I'm in a mood, I can go hard, and I said, I bet you can, and it just silence for a few seconds. Like I don't know what the fuck happened. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, man. No, somebody called me, so it was just good timing.
That was just fucking weird, dude. It was just like, yeah, I can go hard, yeah, and then silent. Like, what the fuck? Are you going hard now, motherfucker? I mean, damn.
Yeah, it's hysterical. Well, how? Back on topic, real quick. I wanted to ask you a question. When you're setting up, you're gonna set your own booth up, or you got people setting your booth up at the con, or what?
I got my buddy. He's gonna come out there with me. I got 2 buddies that are gonna come out there.
It's gonna take a while, isn't it?
Believe it or not, I was telling my friend earlier because I was double checking he was coming out and everything like that. I think we can do it. I was like, look, man, let's get there early because it's supposed to rain that day. So I want to beat the rain. I want to be on time in general, just like you would with any kind of job.
Right.
Sure.
So I want to be the first motherfucker in there in Artist Alley setup.
Well, yeah.
I want to be there early. And I'm thinking 45 minutes. Dude, the thing I got this badass display. It just, you open it up and it's like this cage and it opens really big and wide. And then it has these panels that you put on it. I got 3 banners. They're all gonna, it'll be Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, Night Stars. They're gonna be Velcro. I'm gonna pop those up real quick. Put the comic books out. Put a tablecloth
Nice.
comic books. Go and get some lunch, man. Be ready for the show.
That sounds
Chat
good.
with people. Everything opens.
I'll tell you what, man.
Run some just kind of test runs, kind of just get everything down because he's never been out there at a show with me before. So I have like certain things I'll say and do.
Cool.
Make sure you do me a favor though, because I know you guys you're probably gonna be busy as fuck and doing shit. If you see a certain book selling out fast, put one on the side for me, man, because I don't know, because I want to pick up a few from you, and I know we're not gonna see you till Sunday at least, so I just want to make sure, I'm a greedy bitch.
I gave you a turtle book, huh? That exclusive turtle.
No. You said you had one for me, but you never did. See, that's one of those things that Tim does.
No, I didn't because I have one right here. I have one waiting for you.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do, and you told me that like 3 times. You're like, dude, I got you. I said, all right, cool, awesome.
I think it's great that you're going to be able to go out there at least on Sunday, man. That's going to be kind of good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we couldn't, like I said, we can't go all weekend because of the fact that Caitlin has these jobs. I mean, those are big deals for her because it's weddings, and it's going to be really good for her to get this experience and do shit like that. She's got 2 of those, so that's great. And it's awesome. Her photography is really picking up, man, and hopefully in the next year, this year coming, I can be jobless and she can make all the fucking money and I can just do this for a living.
That's awesome.
Well, y'all can double up, dude.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm being sarcastic about that.
Yeah.
I could never stop working.
I thought she was good, and I've used her. I've worked with her, and I thought she was fantastic. I thought she was very good.
Well, you started. Cool. You worked with her when she was first starting too. So you were actually I think one of the first shots we took were with you and I can't remember her name. Yeah, Kiki. Yeah. Kiki. I feel bad because I couldn't remember her name.
My Night Stars model. She's beautiful.
Yeah, and
you need to get her in a swimsuit with a big like Slimer head, and she could dance by your table.
Man, dude, they have all these cosplay girls that do that kind of stuff. It's kind of weird to me. Like I don't know. It's not. Y'all ever see that? They'll put on like I don't know. Who was I looking at the other day?
Everybody.
And she's really beautiful. I forget her name, but she was dressed up like Chucky from Rugrats, and I was just. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't get the like.
It's kind of weird, and she is. I mean, this girl is gorgeous, man. This girl is fine, but I don't know if I want to like think of Chucky in like a the manner.
I kind of completely understand what you mean.
Like at least be Angelica or something.
Right.
I don't know the mom. Fuck.
Or the dog, right? Yeah, that's cool.
Get me the fucking grandpa. At least be an adult, Oh. What is her name? name? She's man. I'll have to think of it. I want to give her a plug because she's gorgeous.
I don't know, man. But I tell you what, you hit the nail on the fucking head because like a lot of these cosplay, like I get some of them. Like some of them they do the like the anime chicks or even sexy horror movie characters are fine. But what I have a weird thing is like what you do is like, okay, so you're playing the Rugrats now. Why do I want a hot Tommy Pickles? That's just
I feel bad, dude, because
fucking dirty.
Look, she looked great. She looked great as the hottest Chucky I've ever seen. It's just kind of a I just remember looking at it. I was,
you remember back in the day?
What's going on here?
Back in the day, we used to have a cosplay girl of the month.
We did. When we first started the show years and years ago, we actually started doing a cosplay girl a month. And I would contact these cosplay chicks and have them come on, and they would do the show, and we have them promoted on our page for an entire month. Well, it got kind of muddy for a while because you couldn't get in touch with any of the girls because after a long time, the cosplay started getting more and more popular with the chick who had that cosplay show on TV, and they did
the Asian girl.
Yeah.
Cool. I met her.
Yeah, she's very nice. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about any of these people. I'm just saying.
Really nice. I heard Leanna Vamp is really nice. I like her.
Yeah.
I like them. I like looking at them on Instagram. I think it's cool. I enjoy it.
I have no problem with what they do. I'm just saying it. Like, we stopped it because it got. Not only did it get repetitious, but it also got harder for us to get these people because they started getting more and more popular. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so when you look at something like Wizard World coming up in New Orleans and stuff like that, they're actually promoting.
Yeah, they have 3 or 4 of them. Yeah,
it's at the point where cosplayers are. And look, so the girl that's from down here, and I've met her a bunch of times. Remy Domino, is that her name? You know what I'm talking about? She's from here, dude. She does amazing. I mean, just amazing costumes. It's unreal.
We had Evelyn on, wasn't? Yeah, it was.
Evelyn. She was on our show.
Also a Ghostbusters.
Yeah, she's also a Ghostbuster wherever she's at. I can't remember. She's from Las Vegas. She's from Vegas. She's from Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne, send.
I'll send you a link. She's not only a cosplayer, but she's also the Ghostbusters, and she's a B&D model. Like she does all the bondage and shit. She does bondage shows, and she's a DJ too, I think.
Yeah.
All right, that's a Jill of all trades right there.
Yeah, she does like these wild like bondage parties in Las Vegas and shit. Like she always posts stuff about them.
Okay.
I could see you see that eye. Everybody who's watching Tim's video, look at his eyes. You see that? See that? I saw it.
I don't even want to know, man. I'm very candid right now. This is my.
He had that
thinking in my head. I'm like, man, should I even like post this? Like now I'm getting loose.
Oh, you had that glint in your eye, man. It was beautiful. I could tell you were like, yeah, I'm gonna hit this one up.
Well, you know what? I think we're going to start a new thing since the cosplay is so popular. What's the next logical step for something at a con? I'll tell you.
Tell us.
It is extreme LARPing.
I have a feeling where it's going to go, but
I'm down. Let's do it.
Live action role playing. So you get the cosplayers, and they actually have to interact with each other on like a battle scale, like the wizards are battling each other and all this other stuff.
I'm so in. Yeah. Let's do this, dude. Let's actually start a LARP group and like make it international, like MHOG LARPing.
LARP is so like cosplay. You run into the cosplay people with comic books. You know what I mean? The burlesque. There's a weird connection between burlesque and comic books and comic book artists and stuff like that. I don't know where that.
I don't know if that's just here though, Tim.
But I've seen it in other places too. I just feel like it's a thing. I feel like there are burlesque girls for some reason are into the comic. I don't know the correlation. I can't figure it out.
I think it's also a confidence thing because the burlesque people have to have confidence.
Oh yeah,
to pull those outfits off. So if you're able to pull those outfits off, a cosplay costume,
why not do a cosplay? Yeah, that's true.
You're making bank.
Yeah, I think you get the bug with that. I think you get the bug with cosplay. I think when people do that, they really get into it. But LARPing is the one where you don't see those people, man. Like, where are the LARPers at? I rarely run into them.
At the con?
We did a con at 2nd and Charles on the North Shore. I don't know if you were there, Wayne, or if you passed by.
No, I missed that one.
There was a large group there, and they actually had a little cute chick that was in the group and stuff like that. They were all really nice. I talked to them for a while, and she had a shirt on that said, like, they had shirts. They ran out. I was gonna buy one. It said, "Do you even LARP, bro?" They were awesome.
That's
dude.
awesome.
But I never saw them again. I don't know where these people are. I don't know. It's like this. So
it's underground.
You know, Wizard World and comics and nerddom, whatever you want to call it. There are all these like subgroups and subcategories. It's so crazy, man.
But I think
that's one of them.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the things you're going to see more people doing. I think, as strangely as it sounds. I mean, that's the only next logical step. You've got all the other stuff, so you know, and they always have the pre-parties and the after parties at the cons and stuff like that. I can just see LARPing. I mean, there's some. You know what's funny? There in Savannah, there is a LARPing group in Savannah. They are all little people.
I remember you telling me this, dude, and I've always I wanted to challenge them to a fight.
There
a LARPing war.
There was 28 of them.
That's so incredible.
They all dressed up in like little tiny cosplay costume type stuff, little outfits, and they would go to Forsyth Park. And they were there, and they had these gigantic.
Right? Man, they're not trying to hide it.
No, they had these gigantic rubber D20 dice and stuff, and they would stand on opposite sides of the field and roll, and they would move, and they would be like yelling at each other like "Firebolt!" and they'd be throwing shit at each other with like bean bags, and that was like a potion.
Oh.
You know, they're crazy, but it was just funny to watch because they're all like 3.5 feet tall.
I literally love. My favorite was, we talked about that on the show one time, man.
Long time ago.
And I remember you saying you because I think the name of it was something to do about fireballs. Like, I think that was the name of the show because we were talking about the little guys. And I so wish I could have gone to that park and seen that happen.
I haven't seen that many short people like that since the cast of Wizard of Oz. Oh, it's a lot of tiny people.
That's
it's funny because they're only 15 feet away from you, but it's like you're standing at a distance.
Right.
Look, and Wayne doesn't understand. Forsyth Park is not, dude. That would be like going in the center of like Lafreniere or City Park down here, dude. Like Forsyth is like it's the park.
Yeah, I know. I've been there. I've been there.
It's the main. Savannah has parks all over the place, like little parks, and then there's just one massive, it's the goat park.
It was crazy because no one, of course, they're doing this. Nobody else knows what's going on. They're hiding behind bushes and trees. So people are just doing their normal tourist thing, and here comes a crazy midget in a cape,
fireball,
in a leotard with his little weird hat on, and he's like, "I'm a wizard."
At Forrest Gump Park. How crazy is that?
Yeah, right. It's fucking impressive.
Man, I swear to God, I don't think any of this shit's real, bro. I think we live in a simulation. I really do. I really believe that.
Get you some little people to stand by your table.
Yes.
I would buy them all tickets. I would welcome it. I would give them Lattie Ink shirts.
That's awesome.
I'm 1,000,000% in. I love all that stuff. I was a big Roloff fan. I used to watch that show a lot.
Yeah.
Big fan. I like what's his name? I like Dinklage. Dinklage has a really good speech.
Yeah.
And he gave it a college that I really enjoy. A wonderful speech. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. And I like the little guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. I follow him on Instagram too. I like him.
Yeah.
So I like. So
the world's tough for normal sized people. Can you imagine what it is for them? It's crazy.
The champ that's on the show, Kevin Smith, the champ, the guy who is the champ. Yes, he has a thing for midgets or little people. He's like, I'm gonna fuck one of those one day. I was like, yes, you will.
That's a weird bucket list.
The champ. Hey, man, some people have weird shit on their bucket list. I'd like to make this announcement right now. We are going to have a new thing on our website. Actually, there are a lot of guests that want to do our show, but actually can't do Skype or do anything like that. So we're going to do now, we're going to have an actual written interview on our pages from different guests. And our first one is actually going to be Dieter Laser. Dieter Laser is the doctor from the fucking Human Centipede. He can't do our show because he's German and he needs a translator to do shows, and he can only do them in person or do written. So he's going to do a written interview for us, and we're gonna have it up there pretty soon. So we're gonna ask, is there a question you would like to ask him, Tim Lattie? Because I will put it on the questionnaire.
No, I do not have any questions for him, but I think that's very, very cool. Let me know when you have Danielle Harris on the show.
Danielle Harris. All right, I'll hunt it down, man. I'll hunt it down.
All right.
I'll do that.
She might do it, dude. I actually have a picture of Danielle Harris hanging up on my desk.
Oh, nice,
over there.
nice. Yeah,
big fan of Halloween. I think Halloween 4 and 5 are better than the other ones.
I met her actually. That's the girl you talking about.
I wish I had gone that time, dude. I want to meet her. She's awesome.
She's a very nice
Follow
girl.
her.
Or lady, I should say.
That's
Now.
another good one too. Is that Texas
Frightmare, dude? Huge thing, man. I really, you know what? I really think, if possible, you might be able to do well there, because you are doing Ghostbusters. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people are huge fans of Ghostbusters all over, and horror movies, and that's actually considered sci-fi horror. So,
I got a list of shows that when is it? When's the show?
May, like the first weekend of May, I think.
Okay. No, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see what's going on.
Check it out, man. Check it out. I'll even give you the guy's name and stuff if you want to hit him up. The guy who owns it. So
I would get it's in Houston.
Dallas.
Okay, so that's 9 hours, 8 hours, something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, we normally go. I think we're gonna go this year. So if we go, whatever.
I was jealous the last time you went. I would love to do it.
It's incredible, dude.
Man, look. When I went to Roswell a couple years ago, that was the most fun I ever had.
I was so jealous, dude. I was so fucking
awesome. I wanted do that again.
I wanted to go to that so bad, dude. That was so awesome,
dude. I really would, and I would do it again, and I probably am gonna do it again. Yeah, I love that. I love Roswell, New Mexico, but that was a trip, dude. That was a long drive. So I stopped. Dude, I stayed the night in Abilene, Texas, which is on West Texas.
Yeah. And
then drove to New Mexico, dude. It was a trek, man.
That sounds like
it. Sweet Abilene.
Sweet Abilene.
So yeah, no, I would do that. Roswell's awesome. New Mexico's cool.
Awesome. So Tim, give these fine fucking people out here, give them words of advice and give them your URL to go buy your stuff and check out your shit. Come on,
man.
Give them some fucking knowledge to hold on to and take into 2019 from the man, the myth, the legend, Tim fucking Lattie.
I'm gonna steal this quote. It was probably stolen from somebody else, but it's one of my favorite quotes. And I probably told it to Wayne before too. If you want to keep on getting what you're getting, keep on doing what you're doing, man. So I'm a big believer in that. It's one of my favorite quotes. So nothing funny, just real shit. Nice. And you can always find me at Team Lattie, TeamLattie. That's gonna be my Instagram, my Twitter, all that stuff. Mine, Steam it, all that stuff. I'm on there. This YouTube channel, and Lattie Inc. LATTIEINK.com.
Yeah.
Well, man, it's been awesome talking with you. It's been so long since we've actually talked.
It has, huh?
Cool. Wow.
I know, dude. I don't hang out with many scared people anymore, so it's good.
I never get to go to Wizard World either, so I'm missing it again. So that sucks.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it.
Like I said, it's so, I mean, dude, New Year's just happened. It's January 2nd right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, crazy.
But it's a great show. It's a very great show.
And it's going to be packed. They said they're going to have record numbers this year, so get ready.
Did they really?
Yeah. So get ready to make a lot of money. Thanks to.
Like I said, man, I'm selling the banners on the way out. Dude.
Hey, you know what you need to? This is what you need to do. You need to make an Aquaman print. That's all you need to do. I'm telling you right now.
Don't forget that promo codes too.
I'm telling you right now. Draw an Aquaman print.
I don't know. I think it's Lattie 20. You get 20% off.
Yeah, fuck
Right.
Lot.
And if you
listen,
put in MHOG Pod 10, you also get an additional 10.
that's right. Yeah, MHOG Pod 10.
30% off potential.
MHOG Pod 10. Fuck Lottie Inc. I'm kidding.
But yeah, Aquaman will be there, and then Joe Flanagan from Stargate Atlantis. So
Right.
I'm more into Stargate. Than
Well,
I am Aquaman.
I'm just saying, the Aquaman thing. If you want to make money, like seriously, like you know how people are, you'll buy your print from you, and then they'll bring it over there and have him sign it. So that's what I'm saying. Like if they like what you do, he'll fucking sign it and you make money. And then if he likes it, he'll come check you out. So there you go. Just looking out.
Dude, I want to go party with him, man. I'm a big Stargate Atlantis fan. I want to go party with him. Pride of the Gypsies.
Well, I'm going to tell you this.
He is out. He looks like fun. He looks like a fun dude.
Hold on. I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to give you a little secret right now that's happening. Potions Lounge, the one that we do the magic show at, is actually hosting a Vampire Diaries party where all those people are going to be there, and he's going to be there as well.
Oh, dude! Then the other dude's going to be there too. I might go to Potions. What is this? Saturday night?
Saturday night, buddy. Saturday night.
I'm serious. I'll go.
I'm just telling.
I really will.
I'm telling you all that right now. You heard it here first. You heard it here first, man. They're going to be there.
I want to party with the Stargate people, man. I don't give a shit about Vampire Diaries.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
but
that's a shitty property. You don't like
I'm
that.
sure it's a great show. I'm sure it's fucking wonderful.
But anyway, guys, so that was our show. We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks as always, man, for coming on the show and stuff, dude. And let us know when you post up your stuff on your YouTube channel, man, and we'll spread that out as well.
Yeah, I'm trying something new, so we'll see.
Awesome. But anyway, I was your host, Wayne.
I'm the rum guy.
Tim and Lattie.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to keep it. Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Get